I'm Jennifer Kirk, a fifth-year gerontology doctoral student in the dual degree program where you can obtain a master's in science in epidemiology and gerontology with a focus in epidemiology PhD. Prior to candidacy, I was able to obtain research experience working in the Baltimore Hip Studies Research Group, which is led by Dr. Jay Magaziner and Dr. Denise Orwig. After reaching candidacy, when I began focusing on my dissertation research, I began working with Jennifer Albrecht. She is an epidemiologist who looks at health services as well as Medicare claims data, and that training is really aligns with my dissertation research, which is looking at racial and ethnic disparities in osteoporosis management after a fracture. So there's a couple of things that I really enjoyed while being here as a student that have furthered my training that I don't think you could experience at any other university that's not in this area. So one of them obviously is going to be location. Being located in the greater Baltimore region as well as Maryland allowed me to gain experiences looking at projects that were done in DC as well as in Maryland by the National Institutes of Health. So as a part of the T32 Epidemiology of Aging program, we are required at times to help with coming up with what we consider to be the skills we want to achieve. So advocating for what students are needing in the future and thinking about what skills of performing independent research will not only be relevant today, but also into the future. Another great benefit of the epidemiology of training program is that there's not only applied researchers here who have degrees in epidemiology, but there are also medical doctors. So I'm able to interact with and have transdisciplinary research communications with both clinicians and applied researchers. On the same point with the interdisciplinary nature of mentors or researchers that I was able to network with, I also was able to participate as a research assistant in interdisciplinary research, whether it was a hip fracture study that had an intervention with physical therapist or a hip fracture study where we did a behavioral intervention that included people who did more behavioral health things. So I had a variety of experiences I was able to enjoy. One of the big benefits and reasons why I decided to go to grad school was that with just a bachelor's degree, I did not feel like I could enter the field of independent research and lead a research team. But I had had on the boots experience working as a behavioral health interventionist. So with the doctorate degree and the training I received as a student at UMB, I'm able to not only take my applied experience and the leadership skills so I can develop interventions that will have a real world impact. Another skill that will prepare me for my next career step that I learned while a grad student was grit or stick-to-itiveness. So sometimes during the graduate experience, it can feel like you're not having any progress in your research, but understanding that the work you put in every single day can really help you make these incremental and small steps towards your goals. So really learning that small steps doesn't mean a lack of progress. And by understanding that, it helped to build up this grit and resilience that I think you see embodied at UMB with a lot of students who come here and ultimately obtain their doctorate. A final experience that I thought was really positive about the T32 Epidemiology of Aging program was that while I'm a pre-doctoral trainee, there are also postdoctoral trainees. And the postdoctoral trainees can range from being surgeons interested in aging research to individuals who are coming from epidemiology backgrounds, from psychology backgrounds. So they bring in these unique perspectives and we all come together and develop this inquiry about how we can help with aging research in the future and think about the health of the population of the world as we're starting to see the population aging more. So with my field, gerontology, being a very interdisciplinary field, my first foray into having to do research and communicate with multiple stakeholders won't be once I finish my degree. It actually occurred while I was a part of this training program. So that's definitely one of the most positive things that will help me for my next step.